guided ba yung paalala ni Senator Ping na wrapping up hearing ito, ilang tanong na lang muna na follow-up dun sa nasimulan na rin ni Senator Ping. Una po tungkol dun sa signals intelligence related activities. Nasimulan na nilang itanong yung legal status ng mga suspected spies. So yung follow-up question ko po doon, siguro kay Director Lavin din, paano nakapasok yung mga taong na iyon, yung mga suspected spies or agents? Paano sila nakapasok in the first place?
Well, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Chair, we would rather defer to kasi ang point of investigation lang ng NBI from case build up to arrest and then prosecution, we submit this with the Department of Justice. But on backtracking, I would defer to the Bureau of Immigration. Paano silang pumasok, including maybe the Bureau of Customs on the matter of yung pagpasok ng mga equipment. Because these are simple equipments. Hindi ito yung mga high-end equipments na medyo mainit sa mata. So I would defer to these agencies, Your Honors, Mr. Chair.
Salamat, Director. Sa bagay, binanggit nyo kanina kay Senator Ping na nagko-coordinate na rin po kayo sa BI. Yeah, I do remember that now. And na-anticipate nyo yung isa ko pang follow-up question, nabanggit nyo na rin po yung Bureau of Customs. Kasi yung mga gamit na ito na ginagamit nila sa signals intelligence or nagagamit sa SIGINT, yun na nga, yung tanong, paano sila nagkaroon yan? So wala po ba tayong measures in place para i-monitor either yung pagbili niyan domestically or import niyan from outside? So yun na po yung sabi niyong kino-cover ngayon ng Bureau of Customs?
That's correct, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. Ang iba dito kasing equipment are as simple as the pieces of equipment that we can acquire or buy or purchase sa mga regular stores, no? Carrying this equipment, electronic equipment. So madali silang mag-assemble. Magagaling lang talaga sila, Your Honors, Mr. Chair, mag-assemble nito. Depende sa kung paano nilang gagamitin. They have the technical capability, the technical know-how. Kaya yung pinapadala nilang tao dito, yung magagaling. In the case of the COMELEC we had, nagpalit sila ng tao dito. On the first 2 days of the surveillance operations, nung nakahalata yung isa, lumipad kaagad, hindi namin abutan. Yung pangalawa ang inabot namin to continue operating the equipment. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Which I guess, yes, Mr. Chair.
Would you like to acknowledge the presence of Senator Bato de la Rosa? Please proceed.
Salamat, Mr. Chair. And yung isang huling sinabi nyo, Director, ay halimbawa nung pinag-usapan nyo rin ni Senator Ping earlier na hindi lang pala kapag naaresto, napapalitan naman kaagad, pero makaramdam lang sila na in-observe nyo sila, maaring umalis na at mapalitan agad. Regarding, sir, the simple equipment na madali namang bilihin sa mga brick and mortar stores natin, wala po bang kahit simple din na measure tulad ng pag-request sa mga stores na ganitong mga gamit na naobserbahan ninyo ay nagagamit na sa mga suspected espionage activities? At least may listahan sila kung kailan at in what quantity, kung hindi man sino ang bumibili. Para kapag meron kayong inimbestigahan ganitong espionage-related or suspected activities, may mababalikan kayong records ng purchases domestically.
Thank you, Your Honors, Mr. Chair. That's a good point, Madam Senator. We will confer with our Computer Crimes Division and Digital Forensic Division on trying to make representations with the business community para lang ma-monitor kung hindi man ma-regulate, no? Para lang at least ma-monitor who are buying what equipment and for what use. Mas maganda din siguro kung stricter yung regulation and implementation nitong klaseng equipment para nakalagay sa resibo, nakalagay anong serial number, kung may serial number ito, para madali rin namin ito ma-monitor. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Salamat, Director. Pangalawa, follow-up question din dun sa nabuksan na ni Senator Ping sa inyo at sa AMLAC, tungkol nga po sa AMLAC. Yung follow-up question ko tungkol sa economic infiltration. Kasi the Philippine Navy has previously stated that control of the Grande and Chiquita Islands near Subic Bay is essential to maintaining Philippine maritime strategic security. After it was reported that the Subic Bay Metropolitan Authority had entered into an agreement with GFTG Property Holdings and the SANIA CEDF, Sino-Philippine Investment Corporation, for the development of the aforementioned island. So tanong ko po sa resource persons natin, Mr. Chair, do we need new legal mechanisms to ensure that economic and social agreements, halimbawa mga sister city arrangements, investments contracts, kahit mga kontrata tungkol sa pagkontrol ng ating sariling power grid, that these cannot serve as economic infiltration or compromise our national security objectives? Sino po kaya, Mr. Chair, ang pwedeng mag-address nito?
Any of our resource persons who wishes to answer the question of Senator Risa?
Perhaps DOJ, Mr. Chair, kung nandito po
Do you
sila.
have any representative from the Department of Justice?
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you, Mr. Chair, and good morning to you and to the honorable members of the committee. With respect to the question of Her Honor Sen. Hontiveros, the DOJ understands, of course, that these activities are also going on, that we need to guard ourselves against agreements that can be considered as economic interference. In fact, Mr. Chair, when we are reviewing these bills, because this is the first time that we're going to criminalize and penalize foreign interference, Mr. Chair. This is the first time, right? And we understand that the term foreign interference is actually a broad term vis-a-vis espionage. You can conduct foreign interference using espionage. It's actually a very broad term. And when you say foreign interference, it can include economic interference, actually, Mr. Chair. So we have not yet submitted our position paper, and we're going to take into consideration whatever discussions we have here, because we are concerned that since this is the first time we're going to criminalize foreign interference, Mr. Chair, it's a very broad term. We are making sure that the elements of the crime are precise so that it would help the conduct of proper law enforcement, and as well as avoid arbitrary application, Mr. Chair. So we're just concerned with the broadness of the term foreign interference, and we understand that it can actually include economic interference as stated by Sen. Hontiveros. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, ma'am. And I believe the whole committee led by our chair would appreciate yung advice ninyo on any, if any, new legal mechanisms, whether to address espionage more narrowly or yung mas malawak pa na sinabi nyo nga na economic interference.
Yes, Mr. Chair and Sen. Hontiveros, we will include this in our position paper, written comments, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. And I wonder, Mr. Chair, if makapagsasubmit din po sila sa komite kasabay po ng, I think it was AMLAC by next week,
Yes.
Mr. Chair?
Can you submit the position paper of the DOJ by next week?
Yes, Mr. Chair, we will do that. A week from
Okay na
now.
siya 1 week?
Yes,
All
Mr.
right.
Chair.
Salamat, ma'am. Salamat po, Mr. Chair. And then follow up lang po dun sa unang follow-up question. Kung nandito po yung Bureau of Immigration, andito po ba sila? Wala pa po. Sige po. Kahit po sa ating National Security Council, kung may kaalaman na po yung council kung paano po nakapasok yung mga suspected spies or suspected agents sa ating bansa, gaya ng sinimula naming pag-usapan ni Director Lavin kanina.
Any representative from the NSC?
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, honorable senators. As of the moment, the NSC has no knowledge yet as to the entrance or arrival of suspected spies. Thank you.
Hopefully, ma'am, Mr. Chair, pwede nyo po kaming i-update dahil dumadami na nga po yung ganito pong mga instances, and I'm sure yung ating mga policy making at saka law enforcement bodies ay natututo paano nangyayari ito at nagkakaroon ng pamamaraan paano ito mapigilan at paano lalong dumami. Whether you would prefer to advise the committee through the chair in open hearing or like the rather like the AFP in executive session. But please do update our chair and the whole committee, ma'am. Salamat po. So Chair, I just have a last few questions na hindi pa po nabuksan kanina. Baka po natanong na rin ng 19th Congress, but I just like to add a few more details. Tungkol nga po dito sa recent na nabalitaan natin na Chinese nationals na nakakapagmiyembro sa PCG Auxiliary. So noong 2024 pa lang, na-expose sa pagdinig ng House of Representatives Committee on Transportation yung issue ng pagpasok o infiltration ng foreign individuals sa Philippine Coast Guard. Mismong si PCG Commandant Admiral Ronnie Hill Gavan ay nagsiwalat na may dinelist sila na 36 na Chinese nationals na nakasali sa PCGA, so PCG Auxiliary pala, noong nakaraang administrasyon. Pero nitong linggo lang, may na-delist na isa pang Chinese businessman na naging auxiliary commodore pa. So, tingin ko po, Mr. Chair, hindi na dapat maulit yan. So, ang tanong ko po, how can our laws and policies prevent future foreign infiltration of our uniformed service? Kaya na po ba ng kasalukuyang vetting mechanisms na ma-identify at mapigilan ang posibleng foreign agents, lalo na kung gumagamit sila ng peking mga civic documents or public documents? At nakompromiso na ba kaya nitong Chinese nationals na nakapasok sa PCG Auxiliary ang operational security ng Philippine Coast Guard mismo at pati ng Navy, Mr. Chair? I think the PNP would like to address this. Tama po ba? Or I'm just reading the body language na sila po.
We don't have the.
Good. Thank you. I'm sorry, sir. I advise that there's the Philippine Coast Guard with us this morning.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Captain Fernandez from the Philippine Coast Guard. Right now, we're stepping up our vetting process, especially for the members of the PCGA. I think the last one to be delisted was a Commodore C, which was caught just recently. He was, I think, part of the Coast Guard, entered into the Coast Guard Auxiliary in 2018. And right now, we're finding out that there were Chinese nationals who were enlisted in the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary. This is because the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary is a voluntary service. It's a social civic organization under the Philippine Coast Guard. Right then, during that time, there were no perceived threats from interference from foreign agents. But right now, we see that there's a creeping intrusion into our security environment or security infrastructure. That's why the Philippine Coast Guard is now stepping up its vetting process in accepting Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary members, sir.
Mr. Chair?
Excuse me. Paano nakalusot yun?
It was 2018, sir. Our PCJ manual then, sir, was not yet that stringent, sir. But right now, sir, we're crafting more stringent measures in how to vet these members of the PCJ. Because the PCJ, sir, during that time, I think even accepted foreign nationals, sir, because this is a social civic organization, sir. This is not really an organic portion of the Philippine Coast Guard, sir.
I can believe you, Captain, na may mga ilang dayuhang miyembro din yung PCG Auxiliary, alam mo, mga Europeo, ganyan. But that's not a continent. Those are not countries na gustong i-hit and run yung maliliit na PCG vessels natin sa West Philippine Sea, di ba? And sabi niyo po kanina, and also I know na tumutulong sila halimbawa sa mga international coastal cleanups, lalo na tuwing susunod na buwan, Setyembre. Pero kanina po, Captain, sabi niyo, at that time, wala po kayong perceived threats mula dito sa pagsapi ng mga foreign or even Chinese nationals sa PCG Auxiliary. Pero batid niyo na mula noon na, o ngayon pala, na maaring may creeping intrusion. And in fact, bakit nga ba pinadelist ni PCG Commandant Gavan last year pa yung 36 na Chinese nationals? And bakit mula noon, hindi nga kayo naging mas, hindi man maingat, in fact, mas suspicious kung ano ginagawa nitong mga Chinese nationals sa PCGA?
I can only speculate, ma'am, maybe because when we dug deeper into their background, sir, ma'am, I think their citizenship was kind of shaky, ma'am. So it was prudent for us to delist them rather than having them in the list of the Philippine Coast Guard Auxiliary, ma'am.
So hindi ba binackground check din yung at nagdig deeper dun sa nationality ng lahat ng Chinese nationals na members ng PCGA? Kasi between last year na na-delist yung 36 at ngayon na may Joseph C. nitong linggo lamang na idinidelist din, there's been 12 months.
Yes, ma'am. As you discovered during the Guaping case, ma'am, there are some individuals really holding on to documents that can pass off as legal documents, ma'am. That's why we're really coming up with a process that would really vet these individuals, ma'am.
I really hope so, Captain. At saka kasi kwento ng ibang mga Pilipino na sumapi or gusto pang sumapi sa PCG Auxiliary, actually hirap po silang maka-apply. May matinding vetting process, as should be naman po, para makapasok sila. Pero bakit itong 36 dati or si Mr. C ngayon ay di umanong mga dayuhan naman pala, nationals pa ng isang bansa na nang bupuli sa atin, pero sila nakapasok at nakatanggap pa ng mataas na ranggo. And balita ko nga po, within the PCG Auxiliary, may hierarchies pa. May nagbalita, meron pang mga kung ano-anong parang special unit within, and apparently, possibly yung ilan sa mga pinag-uusapan nating mga Chinese nationals ay naging bahagi nun. No?
Senator Risa,
May executive, etc.
anong rango?
Yes,
Anong rango
Mr.
niya?
Chair.
Anong rango nung
Siya po ay honorary commodore.
Commodore?
Yung mga
One star.
Opo, 1 star. Kasing taas ni spokesperson Tariela. Ganun-ganun lang.
Commodore.
Opo. And you know, Senator Ping knows, para lang makakuha ng 1 star sa totoong mga armed and uniformed services natin, napakahirap at napakataas na tungkulin na ginagampanan. So talagang wow, no, honorary commodore. So, yes, Mr. Chair, just moving on to my next question. Ayun, yung hierarchy na napasukan nitong ilan sa mga ito ay tinatawag na executive squadron. I never heard of such a thing. So bakit may ganon? And lastly po, na kompromiso ba nitong mga nakapasok sa PCG Auxiliary yung operational integrity or security ng PCG mismo at ng Navy?
I'm part of the Weapons Communication and Electronic Information Systems Command, Bob. I would like to ask this to our intelligence officers. Can you give me some time to get back on that, ma'am?
Yes, Mr. Chair. So we will also expect that hopefully by next week, Mr. Chair, sir.
By next week, pwede nyo submit sa committee?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Sir Chair,
Yes.
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Senator Lacson is asking me to ask kung kuhan daw. Have you seen the movie Dunkirk?
Sir?
Dunkirk. Dunkirk.
The one World War II movie, sir?
Yeah. Yung ganun na model, kaya ang gawin natin yan dito sa Coast Guard Auxiliary natin?
I think that is the gist of the organizations or of the auxiliaries, sir. Is that if we need ships, we can get them. Yes, sir.
Okay.
So like what Winston Churchill said,
Kung
did,
yun
sir,
kung yan ang gist, have you conducted simulation exercises?
not
with
yet, sir.
them? Okay, kung yun ang gist, ba't hindi nyo ginagawa?
What we are doing, sir, is search and rescue.
No, I mean on a large scale basis.
Not yet, sir.
Parang simulation, halimbawa nagkaroon ng aggression,
Evacuation from ano, sir.
active aggression sa West Philippine Sea. Kung wala kayong simulation exercises, paano nyo sila immobilize?
Yes, sir. We will try to do that.
Thank
sir.
you.
Mr. Chair, if I'm just to one more point before Sen. Rafi would like to interject. Yung kasasabi lang po, Captain, ni Senator Ping, labaw ilang taon na rin na with the partnership, I'm grateful for that, ng Philippine Coast Guard, gumagawa ng mga atin ito civilian mission sa West Philippine Sea. Hindi ko pa narinig na yung PCG Auxiliary ay nakasama. Sana po makasama sila. At nabanggit nyo nga po, boat owners, yacht owners, itong mga PCG Auxiliary. Ilang taon din naming inaawitan na yung mga yate, may-ari ng yate na tawag nito, naka-dock lang sa Manila Yacht Club, Subic Yacht Club. Bakit hindi kaya sila maging mas kapaki-pakinabang sumali sa ganyang mga civilian missions para i-assert yung Philippine sovereignty sa West Philippine Sea? Just for the record, Mr. Chair. Para i-close lang natin yung loop kanina nung sumagot yung DICT at saka yung DND, kung may sufficient resources tayong dinidevote sa counter-espionage, maitanong din sana sa DILG, what about our LGUs? Sinisecure din ba nila ang sarili nila laban sa ganitong mga malign operations in terms of cyber defense? Andito po ba DILG, Mr. Chair? Wala po sila. All right, siguro pwede ko na lang silang sulatan through the chair. Well, this might although this might be our last hearing, but if there's a next hearing, then well and good. Kung hindi po, I will write them through the chair. May napansin bang trend? I would have asked this of BI, pero since wala sila, hopefully nandito ang DFA. May trend po ba kayong napapansin sa Department of Foreign Affairs na may mga Chinese nationals na maaring POGO-related criminals o kaya influence actors na nag-a-apply para magkaroon ng refugee status dito just to prevent deportation from the Philippines? Meron po ba kayong napapansing trend, Mr. Chair? ASEC,
Good afternoon, Mr. Chair.
yes ma'am, Jimenez
and,
Dungo.
Madam Senator. None that we have seen for those who are applying for refugee status po. This will need to double check, but off the cuff, none that we have observed.
Right. Thank you, ASEC, and I will appreciate the update on that to our committee. May dagdag po ba? Wala po. Okay, and then Mr. Chair, last question po. Habang pinag-uusapan natin yung donasyon ng mga computer o iba pang mga equipment, may nabasa po akong isa pang recent na balita, QC getting 1,500 CCTV cameras under Safe Philippines. So, on that note, paano din po natin nasisiguro na hindi magagamit ng China, kasi sila po yung donor in this news article, hindi magagamit ng bansang iyon laban sa atin sa context man ng Sister City program, no, o iba pa, and dahil Quezon City po yun, pati po ba Camps Crame at Aguinaldo ay covered sa paglalagayan ng mga CCTV na iyon? Could we ask DND and the PNP? I think ASEC, D. Yes, sir. So, paano po natin masisiguro na yung mga CCTV na iyon na dinonate ng China sa ilalim ng isang sister city program ay hindi magagamit laban sa atin? At pati ba Camp Aguinaldo ay malalagyan ng mga donated CCTV na iyan?
Who will answer that question?
Sir, the DND in general, the AFP units are not part of the CCTV, sir, ma'am, for the distribution as donated by a foreign country. And just to add regarding the gadgets, the computers, and the other technology that we utilize, we have also a dedicated unit, not only to screen but to regularly monitor and sanitize whatever threats. We also have our regular periodic reporting on cyber threat to address these concerns, Your Honor.
And sir, covered po ba nung monitoring na iyan yung mga LGUs natin na pumapasok sa mga sister city programs at nakatatanggap ng mga donasyon tulad nito?
Just for the AFP units, Your Honor.
Salamat, sir. Siguro, Mr. Chair, sa susunod at huling hearing, itatanong ko rin po iyon sa DILG. Sa PNP po ba, hindi rin po ba covered ang Camp Crame sa paglalagyan ng mga donated CCTVs na iyon?
Mr. Chair and to the good senator, for the PNP, ma'am, we will be coordinating with the Quezon City government, the Quezon City City Hall, sir.
Mr. Chair, nasasara niyo yung audio ko. Unintentionally, I'm sure. So, ibig niyo sabihin, sir, magko-coordinate ang PNP sa QC government para hindi magamit yung mga CCTV na iyon ng China laban sa atin?
We will ask if the CCTV will be placed, if these CCTVs include the Camp Crame or the thoroughfare from the EDSA or within the perimeter of Camp Crame, ma'am.
Pati Santolan po at lahat
Yes.
ng nakapalibot na kalsada sa Camp Crame. At
Yes.
hindi po kayo papayag.
Ganun po ang mangyayari, ma'am. Hindi rin po kami papayag kasi mamomonitor pa tayo lahat ng gagawin natin.
Posible po. And lastly, DICT, may paraan po ba o makasisiguro na ba tayo na yung ganyang mga donated na CCTV, particular mula sa China, sa ating mga LGUs sa ilalim ng Sister City Program, masisiguro ba natin na hindi magagamit ng China laban sa atin?
We can coordinate with them to implement cybersecurity measures, especially with the local government units. Like, for example, regular conduct of vulnerability assessment and penetration testing for their systems so that this can be in place as a part of their policies in terms of if ever there will be donations coming in from, for example, countries that are hostile to the Philippines, as Senator Subiri mentioned. So that can be part of the policies that we can propose also with maybe in coordination with the DILG or the MMDA in this case. Thank you.
Salamat po, ma'am. So baka Mr. Chair, pati yung MMDA ay pwede pong imbitahin sa susunod at huling hearing natin. And lastly, ma'am, salamat sa
Comsec, take note.
Thank you, Mr.
Take
Chair.
note, Comsec.
At salamat, ma'am, sa pagbanggit dun sa VAPT po yun, no? Vulnerability Assessment and Penetration Testing. Kasi una na po namin narinig yan sa kaugnay nung pagtingin namin dun sa Chinese presence sa national grid natin na naging mahalaga din po itong VAPT test para siguruhin na hindi pa natin nagagawa 100% ngayon na hindi talaga mapapatay ng China yung kuryente natin dahil mas switch off lang nila dahil may access sila sa switch na iyon. So maraming salamat po. Maraming
Thank
salamat,
you,
Mr.
Your
Chair.
Honor.
At yung mga paliwanag ng mga dating secretary ay yung sitwasyon na yon, ang konteksto ay yung palang, although lang is relative, no, kasi importante rin. Yung palang sa konteksto na may humihinging isa pang telecoms company ng franchise, remember yung dito, napag-usapan at napagtanong dun sa dalawang dating secretary na yon, bakit magkapagtatayo ng tower sa loob ng mga kampo natin together with the previous telecoms companies. Ngayon, gaya ng sinabi ng chair, mas lalong uminit pa. Hindi na lamang ito mga apprehensions natin tungkol sa access nila sa mga telecoms towers, pero parami ng parami at maiinit na in a way encounters, non-military encounters but leading to arrests ng mga suspected foreign spies. So mas lalong mahalaga na ma-update hindi lang yung paliwanag pero yung pagiging handa rin natin. Salamat, Mr. Chair.